When I originally set out to make this video, I wanted to make a video about why Five Nights at Freddy's is so fun. But I realized something over the course of the past 2 days, that I don't know why it's so fun. I thought I did. There were many things that clicked in my brain while I was playing the game, and it made me think I would love to create a video talking about why I enjoy this game so much and why I think it's so fun. But over the course of a few days, I realized that I don't know enough about what it is to make a video game, or enough about the psychology of what makes things fun to us, or anything of the sort, to really dig into that topic like I would want to. It would be naive for me to think that I could do that. In my day-to-day life, I try to stay cognizant of the Dunning-Kruger effect, which is the effect where you know something about a subject, but you know so little that you don't know how much you don't know. So you assume that you know most of, if not all there is to know about something. Basically, you think you're an expert. Even if you don't realize it, I know that I don't. A lot of times when I think that at first, I have to kind of teach myself to catch myself. And that's what I realized over the course of a few days, is that I don't know enough, not to make the video of the quality that I want to. I would just kind of be talking out of my ass, and that's really not something I wanted to do. So you might be wondering, paradoxically, with everything I just said, how on earth am I making a video right now called How Five Nights at Freddy's Shows You the Secret to Success? Well, we'll get to that. Now, instead of talking about what I originally wanted to, I want to skip past the initial parts of Five Nights at Freddy's, and I want to skip past the horror, the entire first 5 nights, even the 6th night, learning the game and how everything works. That's a very significant part of the game and the game mechanics, but I don't think that it fits this analogy as well. The crux of what I want to talk about today starts with Night 7, 420 mode. Beating 420 mode is no easy task. You have 4 animatronics that, up to this point, you've learned how they work and you understand that they have patterns. But they operate on randomized systems. Their aggression will be different from night to night, and how they act will change based on nothing but pure random chance. You know what they can do, and you can respond to that, but it's very difficult to succeed because what they do is not under your control. And this is, in fact, a mode that Scott Cawthon designed to be impossible. He did not expect 420 mode to be beatable. I mean, we can just look at Foxy as one example. He, on his own, can make it impossible for you to win a run of 420 mode because he can just run at your door a ridiculous amount of times if he decides to be hyper-aggressive, and there's nothing you can really do about it. The game will end in the same way, with inevitable failure, but does that stop you from trying? Even though you know that all these different factors make it insanely difficult and, at times, impossible, and you know that to beat it you have to have, at least to some extent, luck on your side. So then why do people still try to beat it? Why have people beaten it? How have they beaten it? Well, a particular video by Veritasium, which I'll put a link to it down in the description, is actually the video that inspired this one. There's a lot of skill that you need to beat 420 mode. You cannot beat 420 mode without being very skillful at the game. That is just fact. There are too many fast reactions that you need, and too many specific scenarios that you need to be able to adapt your strategy to be able to beat 420 mode. You have to be good at the game. But, beyond that, you also have to be lucky. You can't just be good at the game. You also have to be lucky. You need both to beat 420 mode. Veritasium makes much the same point in his video about success. Now, I am pulling from him because he has had a lot more success in his life, and I feel that reasonably trusting what he has said, as opposed to something that I might think, is going to help me avoid the Dunning-Kruger effect here, because I do not know what success means, really. On a larger scale, I've had many smaller victories in my life, but I have not accomplished a major dream of mine or something like that, like someone like him has. Much like 420 mode, when you're talking about success in real life, like success on YouTube, it heavily requires skill. You have to be very good at what you do. You have to make very high quality videos, but even if you do, that doesn't mean that you're going to succeed, because you also need a bit of luck to help push you there. A lot of successful people out there put out a success bias, which is that all you need to do is work hard and your dreams will come to you and you can do whatever you want. And that's not necessarily true, because they're the lucky ones who made it to the end by doing hard work. but they don't have the experiences of all the people who have worked just as hard and have still failed. So with that being said, am I saying that there are just impossible things that you shouldn't attempt, that you shouldn't shoot for your dreams? Am I also telling you that because Five Nights at Freddy's involves luck, you shouldn't try? Well, no. Of course I'm not saying that, because that would be so paradoxical of me to say, because I'm still here making YouTube videos, and I hope that one day they can take off. I think that Veritasium, again, says it much better than I will, and I think you should go watch his video. But here, a key to success is kind of paradoxical. It's the recognition that it is very unlikely for you to succeed at certain dreams of yours. There are just dreams that are out there that seem so unreachable that many of us realistically have very slim to none chance of achieving. But you have to recognize that. But at the same time, you have to have blind faith in the ability of your hard work to take you there, even if it might not. When it comes to looking at success from this specific perspective of luck versus hard work, it's the best you can do to recognize that. I enjoyed playing Five Nights at Freddy's 420 mode. I enjoyed ramming my head against a brick wall, failing for luck reasons or from skill reasons, improving my skill, and luck was out of my control over and over again until eventually the two aligned, and I did it. I beat 420 mode. But as cool as the analogy of beating 420 mode to real-life success might be, it isn't real life, and it's a decent concept, but it's not an example of real success. I think to see that, we need to pull back a little bit to a story that most of you who are Five Nights at Freddy's fans have heard before. Scott Cawthon was an indie game developer for a very long time, and he was passionate about what he did, and he clearly had a dream to at least make some success and make money off of making indie games. And for a long time that wasn't working for him. He made game after game, and he developed his skill, and he made what a lot of people who played them would consider to be good games. But he hadn't gotten a break, and there were still a lot of things that he had to learn along the way. But as he did learn, and he got better at becoming more skillful, he also ran across an opportunity that I don't know if he realized was coming beforehand. But when he was in a very depressive state, and he had made a game that he intended to make for kids, and that game was heavily criticized for being horrifying and too scary, and for having these awful animatronic-like figures in it, he turned that around and turned it into a horror game. He created Five Nights at Freddy's. And not only was he skillful, incredibly good at what he did, but at the same time, he got luck on his side as well. Because at the same time, YouTube was rising. Gaming content on YouTube was becoming more of a popular thing, and Five Nights at Freddy's got swooped up in that. YouTubers who loved this game and played this game and it aided their YouTube channels, the game Five Nights at Freddy's got swooped up in that. And it exploded into a massive success that I don't even know if Scott Cawthon could have ever imagined for himself. Maybe he did, maybe he didn't. I don't know. I'm not him. But what I am is confident that stories like his can happen again. If you have a dream that seems impossible that you want to pursue, I don't think you should throw away what stability you may have right now just to go for it. But I do think you should try. Because only in trying the impossible can you actually get there. In the Veritasium video that inspired this one, you will see him say that if he had known what he knows now about what it takes to create a career on YouTube when he began, he never would have started. He would have probably given up immediately. But he didn't know. There might have been a bit of the Dunning-Kruger effect going on there, where you don't know how much you don't know, and so you have blind faith and you push forward regardless of what you think may or may not happen, and you learn as you go. That's kind of a beautiful thing about this aspect of success, is that you really can't know how possible or impossible you achieving a goal is until you try. And like what happened with Scott Cawthon, as he declared, Five Nights at Freddy's was going to be the last indie game he ever made. He was done. He wanted to give up. But he didn't give up before making Five Nights at Freddy's. Despite the depressive state of the failure of his previous game, he pushed forward one more time. And what I want to leave you at the end of this video with is exactly that thought. You never know when that one more push could be the one. You never know when it could be the thing that helps set things in motion for you. You don't know. How could you know? So maybe it's blind faith, knowing so little that you think you know more than you do, that you push on. Or maybe it's perseverance, or maybe it's a combination of both. But at the end of the day, if you want to achieve the impossible, it's all you can do, is to keep trying, and hope for the best.